Good afternoon. How many of you have cut the umbilical cord on your newborn? When I cut the umbilical cord on my daughter, I knew my life had changed forever. I knew that I would do whatever in my power to make sure she was protected and safe, but I wasn't quite sure at what lengths I would go to make her happy. Would I go to a Hannah Montana concert? Or the movie about the concert? That's exactly what I did. I would like to take you through the journey my daughter and I experienced in order to see Hannah Montana Best of Both Worlds concert. First, I want to tell you how we obtained tickets to a sold-out concert. Then, I want to tell you about the actual concert. And finally, about the movie that came out 2 weeks after the concert in order to relive the experience as well as to see backstage happenings prior and during the concert. It all began when my daughter said she wanted to go see Hannah Montana. Her grandparents offered to pay for the tickets, which left me, Mike Smith, to locate them. Since Cincinnati's show was already sold out, I looked in Louisville, Indianapolis, and then I finally found some in Columbus at the Nationwide Arena. Top row, way back from the stage. That meant that my search was over? Wrong. A week later, Cincinnati released 300 additional tickets, but only for Hannah Montana fan club members. Yep, my daughter became a Hannah Montana fan club member, and I bought the tickets. I sold the tickets for the Columbus show on StubHub. They sold within 5 minutes. Now that you know what we went through to get the tickets, let's move on to the concert. We arrived about an hour early, went to the will call window, picked up our tickets, went to stand in line. The line circled the venue, and as I looked around, I only saw one other man in this line. However, I did hear about 5,000 different Hannah Montana songs being sung at once. I wondered what I had gotten myself into until I looked at my daughter. She had a smile from ear to ear. We made our way inside, found our seats 10th row, left of center. Great seats, perfect. We could even see what was happening backstage. Costume changes, dancers rehearsing, everything. 3 hours later, I couldn't hear anything. The concert was over, but the two little girls behind me had been screaming the entire show, and neither of which was my daughter. Finally, the Hannah Montana movie arrived in theaters 2 weeks later. Of course my daughter wanted to go, even though it had been filmed at the same concert we just went to 2 weeks earlier. We entered the cinema and it sounded like 2,000 people singing Hannah Montana songs, even though the capacity was only 200 in that actual theater. I put on my 3D glasses and started watching the movie. The entire time my daughter kept saying, "I remember this, I remember this." Well, I too remembered, but this time I actually got to hear some of the songs. I never thought I would go to a Hannah Montana concert or a movie about the concert. However, when I cut the umbilical cord on my daughter, I made a promise even I wasn't aware of. That promise was to do whatever possible within my means to make my daughter happy, which in this case included seeing Hannah Montana Best of Both Worlds.